Welcome everyone to today's Tech Tuesday. I am very excited about this one. I work with Crystal with the Atlanta Black Chambers Black Beauty Industry Initiative, BBII. And so the work she is doing with her company Liquid just I've been waiting for for a while. As those who know me know that I am very big on operations, data, numbers, and so this one's for me. So I want you guys to sit back, enjoy, and gather some really good information. These are a lot of things that you need to know, just the baseline, what you need to know. Booked but broke, three numbers every beauty pro should know. So this has to do with what you should be able to, the data you should be able to easily get your hands on and understand in order to make decisions for your business. And with Liquid, it also helps you know what decisions to make, how to make them. So I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Graves. And like I said, I'm very excited. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here. As Elaine said, I have been in this industry for quite some time, and like her, I love all things around business. And not because I love numbers or systems or business, but because learning these things allowed me to not just have a job for myself, but to build a career, and after that career be able to build a legacy that I can carry on, not just for myself, but for my children. But today we're going to talk about being, often a lot of us are busy. We have clients, but we still feel broke. And that broke could be something when it comes to financially broke or even internally, emotionally broke. And so today I'm going to dive into the three numbers that every beauty pro should know so that you can actually take control of both this in the physical and in the internal. So I am going to share a little bit about myself. So I've been licensed in this industry for 17 years behind the chair. I have built and scaled 5 salon concepts over a 7-year period, meaning I have worn every single hat in this industry outside of cosmetology school. So I started off as an apprentice. I then went into managing that salon, which was a booth rental salon, opened my first hybrid salon in 2015, and I had both commission and booth rentals, switched over into fully commission, built the first salon suites in the city in which I lived, coached, scaled that. While doing that, I had the opportunity to coach about 300 salon owners nationwide. And then I sold my salon business for 7 figures before retiring from it in 2019, including the real estate. And now I am the founder and CEO of Liquid, which is the business assistant particularly made for hairstylists and beauty professionals to help you make more money, keep your clients coming back, and figure out your next marketing campaign so you can actually build a career, not just a job for yourself. I am big on intentions. And the reason why is because I know we take in a lot of information. We do a lot of things every single day. And if we don't know what our intentions are, we can often get lost on the path that we're going to. So I want to start with my intentions today is to show you where you've been, show you where you are, and show you where you're going. And the way we do that is I'm going to walk you through a roadmap that's grounded in your numbers, your reality, and your data, and what actually motivates you to show up every day and do whatever it is that you're doing. And it doesn't matter what your business model is, it doesn't matter where you are in the space. The same data that we're going to talk about today is data that every single person can use. So, what does that look like in action? Helping you find clarity using technology to understand your goals, both professional and personal. Oops, hold on. I didn't switch there. Okay. To understand your goals, both professional and personally, understand your break even number, understand your break even beauty rate, which is something that is trademarked for Liquid, your dream number, where your money is going, and walk away with a plan that you can actually use today and taking action. I am born and raised from the show me state. So my whole thing is I like to show you better than I can tell you. And then I want you to show me that you are really serious about taking your business to the next step by actually doing it. One of the things, so I've set my intention. I want you to just take a moment to think about, what is your intention today? What is one thing, not 27, just one thing that you are going to do after this class? And it can be, I'm going to take one thing that I learned and apply it in my business. I'm going to rewatch this. I'm going to look at my numbers. That you're just going to take action in the next 48 hours. Not next week when you got open time, but the next 48 hours. What is your intention and what action are you going to take? And I'm going to let you think about that a little bit. I'm issue with being quiet, so I'm just going to give about 30 seconds of that. Because I just be wanting to fill the space. See, look at me. I'm still talking. All right, great. I think you should have an intention in your mind or on paper. I'd like to say, before you can really think about anything, you have to take a pause and do some reflection. So I want you to think about, what was one low for the first half of 2026. So we are really pretty much in the middle of the month. So we've already done 6 months and we got 6 months left. And I want you to think about, what's one low for the first half of 2026 that you had. I'm going to share with you all one of the lows. So one of the lows for the first half of 2026 for me was, I really had not taken the time to think about who we were actually selling liquid to. Who was the person that was actually ready to buy liquid today? And because of that, our runway, which is the amount of money that the company has, got very little, because we were spending a lot of money to acquire the wrong person. So that was one of the lows for me for the first half of 2026. So I want you to think about, what's one of your lows. The second thing I want you to think about is, what was one of your highs for 2026, right? What is something that was absolutely amazing for you so far this year that you like, yes, I did that. And so for me, one of my highs for 2026 so far was that I took responsibility for where my company was. Sometimes when we are the CEO or the founder or the solopreneur, we can blame others for the situations that we're in, or our team for not pulling the weight, or our partner for not helping, or those things. But for me, is I am the leader of this ship. And so if the ship is taking on water, I needed to look and see everybody at the stations on my ship and making sure that they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I was not doing that the way a CEO should. And I'm gonna tell you, when I started, baby, the water off the ship, we all rowing in the same direction. Everything is great. So that was a high for me so far, and that's something that I know that if I continue to do, it'll have leaps and bounds for us. I want you to think about, what is one of your professional goals for 2026. So think about yourself, your career. What is a professional goal for you for 2026? For me, one of my professional goals for 2026, as the chair for BBII around innovation and technology, I want to put together a resource guide that people in BBII can use around technology, where they can put in some information and be able to spit out what are some technology resources and tools, and be able to have us come together as a committee and put that into action. So that is one of my professional goals for 2026. And then lastly, I think anytime you got professional, you got to have personal. Uh-oh. What? Now, come on now. What is one of your personal goals for 2026? That's going to be the last thing. What is one of the personal goals that you have for 2026? I mean, personal. For me, one of my personal goals for 2026 is to be a better saver. I am constantly living between living my best life and saving for tomorrow, and living my best life always wins. I'd be like, you can't spend it when you die. You know what I'm saying? Look at the world. But I really need to do a better job of conserving money for a rainy day. So that is one of my personal goals, is that budget that I do every month. How about you stick to it, sugar? So that is my personal goal. So now that you kind of have those, one of the cool things that I'll show you later is this activity that we did. I just think is something that everyone should actually do and reflect on every single month. And I think the reason why you do that is because sometimes we don't reflect until it's too late. We're deep in it, we're way behind, we feel lost, we're super exhausted, and you then do it, and you have so much on top of you that it's really hard to climb out. Or you're doing really good and you aren't looking at how good you're really doing. And so you're really hard on yourself. So we don't often reflect on the good things as much as we should, but we look at the bad things. So I think this is an activity that you can do every single month. And it's an activity that you can use technology to do inside of Liquid. But we'll get to that part after we dive into the fun stuff, the numbers. So, as I said, there are three numbers that I believe that every single beauty professional, hairstylist, barber, esthetician, spa owner should know and understand when running a business. And often I have found they don't. And it doesn't matter if they're a solopreneur, a micropreneur. I worked with a salon in Brooklyn that had 9 stylists, did well over $250,000. And when I asked the owner about these numbers and the expenses, she had no idea. So the first number we're going to talk about is your fixed and variable expenses. And fixed and variable expenses are things that every single business owner should know about their business, but also every single person should know about their home as well. So a lot of the things that we will talk about today are going to cross over between your home life and your business life, because often your business is funding your home life, but they aren't talking to each other, which is why there's conflict. It's like a marriage that isn't having communication. So fixed expenses, expenses that don't change month to month. Things like your rent, things like my cable bill stays the same. We used to pay someone to clean, it was the same. We used to how much my license was for my business was the same, and I used to divide that into 12. So I would set a little bit aside each month. Anything that was going to be a big bill that was typically the same, I would set it aside. Your insurance. So same amount, same time, every single month. That's a fixed expense. If you think about it at home, that's your rent, your cable. I'm trying to think what else in my house that doesn't change. My kids' tuition for school, daycare, my nail bill. That's an expense that is the exact same every single month. Variable expenses. They're expenses that fluctuate. They can change based on what you're doing that month. They can change based on how many clients you have, how much usage it is, how often you're open. So you think about your electricity, your gas, your back bar expenses, if you do a client experience, office supplies. So those are the things that fluctuate. Your groceries every single month are called your variable expenses. And I think you want to look at both of those, both at home and at the salon. The next one is did I skip one? Oh, it's interesting. Okay. I'm going to talk about this in two pieces. It's your break even rate is the first one. And so that your break even rate is the money in and the money out to cover so that you are even. So if you can think about all the money that comes into the salon, so all of the money that's paid for everything, your services, your gross, and then paying everything out of all of your bills. So that's that number in the middle. And a lot of people often don't calculate those things. And so they have no idea ultimately how much it costs you to keep the lights on, how much it costs you to go to work every day. That's how you can think about your break even rate. Like, how much does it cost me to show up and pay everything in order to deliver the services that I'm doing? The other number is, so those were the three numbers that everyone should know, right? The fourth number that I'm going to add that no one talks about because I made it up, but I think it is so important, is your break even beauty rate. And that is the absolute minimum you need to earn per hour to cover all of your expenses, both for business and at home. What we often don't talk about is that we go to work, right, in our business, and we go to work in our business to pay the bills at home. But we often never have a conversation about what are the bills at home? How much do I need to bring in to cover them? And then what does that look like at an hourly rate? So your break even rate is that every day when you in the salon, what is the minimum you need to earn to pay all the bills at home? So if you were giving yourself a paycheck, which you should, or a draw, what does that need to be on a hourly basis, but even bigger on a daily basis, a monthly basis, to cover all the bills at home? So I'll give you an example. If your monthly and personal expenses equal $4,000 and you work 120 hours per month, your break even beauty rate is $33.33 per hour. So for every hour that you're actually doing hair. So these are revenue producing hours. Not every hour that you at work clocked in, you might be going shopping for stuff you're doing, making phone calls, doing social media. Those are not the hours we're talking about. We're talking about the hours where you're actually doing hair that are revenue producing hours. You need to be making a minimum of $33 per hour, which is your break even beauty rate. All right. I know that was a lot of information. But I want you to understand the basis of that before I show you how to use technology to answer these questions for you. Because I believe that the biggest disservice of technology is the removal of the why. And I think with the world that's happening right now with AI, with do it for me, done for you, is you don't understand the why behind the things, which ultimately means that if you're paying for me, you're like, why am I paying for this? I don't know why I'm paying for this. I'm gonna quit paying for this, right? So you don't understand what went into giving you a result. The other part is that you are a business owner at the end of the day. And it is your responsibility to understand the ins and outs of your business. So even if you have an accountant that does something, even if you have a bookkeeper, somebody that does your social media, you want to have enough basic knowledge around what they're telling you to validate that it's truth. And so we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you how to use technology, particularly the one that I created within Liquid, to put your data in to help you answer these questions. So we're going to talk about what I call revenue mapping, understanding where all of your money comes from. And we're going to use technology to do that. So I would like to tell y'all, this is about the fourth version of Liquid that I have created. And Liquid really stemmed from being a salon owner who loved systems, who understood at year 5 that these numbers were what led me to being able to get my first line of credit to hire employees, that helped me get my second line of credit to buy a building, that helped me retire. So I didn't know any of these things before, and I'll be honest, I never had that I was the broke hairstylist story. It was never me, but I was the uninformed, ill-informed hairstylist, which really was a detriment to me as a business owner and being able to move faster in what I wanted to do. So what I'm going to show you today with Liquid is we're going to dive first into the pricing calculator. So the pricing calculator, that's a video that's going to tell you how to use it based on your business model. You can watch that on your own time. We're going to talk about this from the idea of a solopreneur. So you are a team of one, and this is how you would use it. If you have a commission salon or you're a team of 3 or 5, you can still use Liquid. This video explains to you how to do that. So the first part of the pricing calculator is you're going to enter in your monthly business expenses. And so Elaine, if you can be my hairstylist, and I'm going to have you enter in, tell me what to enter in these spots. So we're going to start with the fixed expenses, and these again are the costs that are set each month. So your rent.
Okay, so my rent, I'm doing a weekly and I'm doing 250, so say $1,000, even though I know it's higher than that.
Okay. Do you give yourself a paycheck every week?
Yes, every week I give myself $500.
Okay, so then that is $2,000. Elaine, is this common that people are giving themselves a paycheck?
No.
Okay. So for the sake of this class, we're gonna take it out. We know Elaine giving herself a paycheck, but we would
Okay.
probably say that 75% of us are not.
Okay. So we're gonna do what the most common. I got you. I'm following.
Okay. Okay. Utilities.
So I'm doing a suite. I'm not paying utilities.
Okay, perfect. Insurance.
I ain't got insurance yet.
All right. So you
Mm-hmm.
okay. Do you set aside any money for taxes?
No.
Okay. We're going to put in here because I'm going to put this in here because it's going to show something later.
Okay.
Every single person should set aside money for taxes. We say anywhere between 10 to 30% is what I would say, but I would also say we are not tax professionals. Please consult your tax professional. Liquid actually has one that if you use Liquid, she is your tax professional for free. Her name is Kanisha Coleman. Awesome. So we're going to meet in the middle at 20%. Okay. Variable expenses, costs that change each month due to factors such as output or usage. Marketing.
So I've been trying to do some marketing on Google. So Google and Facebook. So I've been doing like $100 a week just to see what it would do.
Okay, so that's $400 for the month.
Mm.
Okay, what about back bar? Things that you buy to actually deliver the service to your client.
So mine, I get the gallons and the gallons that I'm getting are costing me 35 for the
Okay,
gallon. And I just buy them when I run out. So
so
maybe 2 times a month, 3 times a month.
okay, so we're looking at 70 times 2, 140.
Okay.
Okay. Do you spend money on anything else in the back bar?
So
Foils, foams, sprays.
yeah, I have shampoo, conditioner, and then, of course, I have a variety of those. And then shampoo, conditioner. Then, of course, for the color, I get color. I just mostly do um browns. So
Okay.
I do my, like 2, 3, 4s through 6, really.
Okay.
And color is like 15. I do foil. I don't know how much the foil costs.
Okay.
And I don't do it that often because I mostly do gray coverage.
Okay.
So I don't buy it that often. Um, so yeah, so probably because I just gave you one bottle, so that probably need to multiply that bottle. You probably need to triple that.
Okay.
And then add color. Trying to think what else I buy on a regular.
So let's just say maybe like 450.
Okay.
That
Okay.
seems about right. Okay. Do you pay any money for software? Your booking system, Canva?
Mm, yeah, I use Gloss Genius. I think I cannot remember how much Gloss Genius
I think
costs.
it's 25 a month
Okay.
if you got the basic.
I got basic.
Okay. And then you pay for Canva?
No, I use the free version of Canva.
Okay. So we'll just say about $25 for software. Do you buy any office supplies?
Maybe a few, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you buy for your salon, either fixed or variable, that is not on our list?
Yeah, I buy my clients snacks.
Okay. You can add an expense here.
Okay.
Put snack. And then about how much do you think you spend?
Probably about $50 a week.
Okay. So $200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Then you're going to hit the next button.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to come and enter your monthly personal expenses. So these are the expenses for your bills at home. How much do you pay in rent?
1,500 a month.
Okay. And what about car payment, insurance?
The car payment and insurance, that's about 500.
Okay. Utilities?
Utilities, about 100.
Okay. What about groceries?
Groceries. So I have a question for you. When I'm doing this, um, I I do I buy groceries, but I have a full family and I have a working husband.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I calculate it? Should I be calculating the total groceries?
Everybody. The groceries that you pay. Think about what you like. If you were to say
Okay.
we spend this on groceries, what's your portion?
Okay. So let's
Things
say
like rent.
yeah, so let's say I do about 200.
Okay. Do you pay all the rent? Okay.
Guess I don't.
Okay. So like
So let's
seven.
do half. Yes.
Okay. You pay your own car note,
Yes.
utilities, so you split or you pay?
I pay utilities.
Okay. What about entertainment, fun money?
I got a few streaming services. They run me about 150.
Okay. What
We
about
go out all the time, at least
okay.
once a week.
So we're gonna put streaming, we're gonna give it its own category. And then we're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna make that 150.
Okay.
And then tell me what you entertainment you go out about once a week. You
Yeah,
spend
we go
about
out about once a week. We split it, so it's probably like, sometimes he pays, sometimes I pay. So maybe 200 a month.
okay. Do you spend any money on kids, daycare, at school activities monthly?
No, we don't have any kids.
Okay. Do you have any debt payments that you pay off every month? Credit cards?
Yeah, I have a credit card. I don't know what I pay off on it every month.
Okay, we're just gonna say, I feel like I don't know if this is still the case, but I be feeling like credit cards be like $25 a month. I feel like that is not what people pay anymore, but we're just gonna put it there.
Sure.
Is there any other expense, fixed or variable, that's not included here?
Um, what about annual travel?
Okay, we're gonna get to that. Oh no, where did I go? Hi, I'm me and my list. Oh no.
Oh
Hello
no.
and welcome. I know I pressed the back button without saving. I was out here. Okay, let me see if I'm gonna just make these up real
Yeah, I
quick.
was about to say I was just making them up, so I don't
And oh,
know
you
what
can
the
pay
numbers
interest
were.
20%. We did 200. We had four. I remember these numbers. We had 400. We had 25. We had nothing here, but we had client experience. That was 200. Okay. Next. And then we had 7, 5, 100, 200. What did you say? 200? No kids, 25, and then streaming. Look at that. I remember.
Look at you.
And that was like 150. Okay. Then we're going to go here. Oh, and this video is going to tell you about this, but I'm going to tell you because we're here. This is the dream lifestyle. So if I want people to dream big. So if money or time or what you already got planned were not an issue, what would you have over the next 12 months and what would that cost you? So this was like your annual vacation, I think would be here. And then what would you think you spend on annually on vacation?
I would probably do 5,000 for a
Okay.
vacation.
Okay. What else? Is there anything else over the next 12 months you want to do? Continued education,
I want,
trip to the
I need a
girls.
new car.
Okay. Okay. And what would that cost you?
So I guess the car would be 50.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
I need to upgrade my wardrobe.
Okay. What do you think that'll cost you?
Let's do 1,000.
Okay. Anything else?
Vacation, car, wardrobe. No, we probably eat out more though.
Okay.
I prefer to eat out
Okay.
like
How much do you think you would
twice a
spend?
week. Yeah, so 100 a week to so just enough. No, it's gonna be more than that. If I'm eat out. If it's a dream, I'm
Or
gonna eat out at a better restaurant right than that. So yeah, so 150 a week. So what is that? 4, 5, 600. So let's
okay.
just round it to 1,000.
Okay. So 12,000. Because we're
Okay.
looking at monthly. Yep. Okay. Okay. Then you're gonna hit next. Then what is your right now you're gonna enter in your average monthly income. What do you make in the business over the last 30 days? The gross, the total amount at the top.
5,000.
Okay. And then what is your dream income? Like what do you want to make per month?
So I want to be at 250K a year.
Okay.
So back I can back into that.
Okay.
So about 20, let's just say 25K.
All right. And then how many days per month do you work behind the chair?
4.
You only work 4 days a month?
No, no, I thought
No,
I
days.
think in weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah.
I know. Most people do, which is a good
Yeah.
tool for us. So 4 times 12, 24.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. And then how many hours per day do you work that are revenue producing?
Oh, that are revenue producing. I probably do probably 5 clients at about 90 minutes each. How do I
Okay.
do that?
5 times 90.
5 times 90 and then divided by 60 because we're doing hours, right?
Yep. Then divided by 60.
All right, so 8 hours, 7.5.
Okay. 8 hours. Okay. Then you're going to hit this calculate button.
Mm-hmm.
And then what Liquid is going to do is it's going to tell you that the $300,000 is what you need to make annually to hit your dream income with the hours that you're working and then paying 20% in taxes to bring home 300,000. Okay? Then we're going to talk about that break even number. Remember, that's the number to pay all the bills at home. And the way we did it is pay all the bills at home and pay all the bills at the salon. You need to make 32 cents per minute, 19.27 per hour, 154.17 per day, and 3,700 per month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to go into that dream number, right? This is when you want all the things and in between, right? Which it's, I feel like it's not even a crazy number, right? So it's 217 per minute, 300, 130, 21 per hour, $1,000 a day, which will equal 25,000 per month. Then we look at 20% profit. So you have that break even number, but you want to make 20% profit. That's here. That break even number, and you want to make 25% profit. That's here. And
Okay,
all of these are included with paying your bills at home.
nice.
Then it's automatically saved. You can download it. It can be an Excel spreadsheet. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Now, I feel like now you have a foundation of the numbers. So, but you're like, okay, this is really great. What do I do with this? What often happens is most people don't know if they're even making this. They're like, well, I don't know what I make. And it becomes really big to be like, you can probably go pull your numbers from your booking system. But I say if you can know with your top 3 services that you perform most often, are you charging enough for those? Most people have no idea. That is where the business assistant comes in. And you've been playing with her all day, so she's got questions. So the business assistant ultimately is trained with and on over 400 hairstylists, businesses, problems, and 15 hairstylists with over 130 years of experience in the industry. I like to tell people it's the chat GPT for hairstylists, except it doesn't sell your information. It's not going out to the internet and guessing, and it's looking at your numbers to give you the answers. So you can ask it anything under the sun. You can ask it now. It has all of your numbers information. So you can ask it any math question, anything related to your services, your pricing. You can ask it a marketing question. It's pretty much like having your own business assistant in your pocket that knows everything about the beauty industry and your goals, numbers, dreams, and things in between. So I often tell people the easiest way to say is, what's the most popular service most people do? We're just going to say a haircut, right? So I'm going to ask, I do a haircut and I want to know if I charge enough. And I can't spell, I just type. And if you can see how that looks, it's just wrong. I'm just going to send it. What's super cool about it is it's actually going to go look at all of the numbers. So it'll tell you, that it's thinking about your answer. And then it's going to spit out what it came up with. It's always going to call you by name. So this person is Faith. That's a fantastic question, Faith. And that's one of the most important things to know for your business. It's great that you've already used the pricing calculator, which you did. That gives us a solid foundation from work. Based on the last report, so the last thing that you saved, your break-even beauty rate is $19.27 per hour. This is a really important number, Faith. It means that you need to earn at least $19.27 every hour you're behind the chair to cover all of your expenses. That's your business rent, that's your business costs like rent and advertising, plus your personal bills like your car and groceries. Anything less than that, you're actually losing money. To figure this out, if you're charging enough for your services, let's look at some specifics. Just to make sure I'm working with the right numbers, your last save report last month or a different period. Once we confirm that, we'll look at the services you perform most often, what services you do currently charge for it, and how long it takes you to complete them. So it was last month. We currently charge, I don't know, we'll say we charge 55 for a haircut. And it takes us 75 minutes. Now, what's really cool about this? So, do you all remember when we first started and we talked about goals? One of the really cool things with Liquid is you can go into Liquid and you can say, I want to plan for my month. And it's going to ask you all those questions that I asked you. It's going to say, what was the best part of your last month? What was the worst part of your last month? What are you looking forward to next month? What are your personal goals? So Liquid will have that conversation with you, and then it's going to store that conversation for when you are doing your goal planning for the next month, so on and so forth. And so it says, thanks for confirming that your last report was last month, Faith. That helps me make sure we're looking at the most relevant numbers. You mentioned it was $55 and takes 75 minutes. Can you specific name that service, knowing exactly what service? Oh, we were doing the haircut. I'm not going to dive super deep once it gives us this answer, but the whole goal is to show you that it's going to ask you questions back and forth to get the best answer. One thing that I can tell you that makes it very different from ChatGPT is it actually does real math. ChatGPT's math does not be mathing a lot of times. And if you are using it for math, please go back, check, recheck, double check, quadruple check, because it is not known. Our math is hard coded. A lot of times AI will hallucinate and the math is not hard coded. It's doing a lot of things that don't be correct. So this is saying, it's giving us the baseline. So it says, based on the last report, your break-even beauty rate is $19.27. That's the absolute minimum you need to earn every hour to cover all your business and personal expenses. Your haircut service, you charge $55 and it takes you 75 minutes, which is 1.25 hours. That means your haircut is currently earning $44 per hour. The fantastic news is you're earning $24.74 per hour above your break-even beauty rate for your haircuts. This means the service is definitely contributing to the positivity and your profitability. To give a clearer picture of total impact, can you approximately tell me how many haircuts you performed last month? Knowing that number, we will use it to see the total profit you're generating for that service alone. So it's even going further to help you look at other things. You can ask, here's one question we had was, help me create a social media marketing calendar. And it said that based on what they needed to earn, it talked about what upsells that they could produce to help bring more money into what they were currently earning. So it's always going to put money into the factor when you are doing all of the things. Liquid has 3 assistants to help you. There's a business assistant. You can ask any business questions. There's a pricing assistant. You can ask money questions. To be honest, you can ask the business and the pricing the same questions. And then there is a web assistant. One of the things that I did as a founder, knowing how the world is with data, we wanted to protect your data. So everything inside of here is a closed data loop, meaning that we don't go outside and get any sort of data. We don't put your data outside anywhere. It is privacy protected. But a lot of people want to search the web. So if you want to use the web assistant to figure out, what other people are charging in your area, which I think is a very bad idea, or you want to figure out anything, you can use the web assistant. But what's super cool about it is once it goes out to the internet, it's going to cite the sources of where it got its information. And I think that is very important because the source may be great or it may not be. But when we use tools like ChatGPT and it tells you this thing that's beautifully formatted, you don't know where it got it from. It literally pulls from the entire internet. So it could have pulled from a source that you would never use or reputable, but you would never know that because ChatGPT does not cite its sources. So that is one of the things that we do. And I don't want to get sidetracked. So what you can do is you can revenue map. You can understand where all your money is coming from. You can understand how to, if you're falling short, you can ask Liquid to, oh my gosh, you can ask Liquid to help you, give you ideas to make more money. And one of our favorite features is if you are a Square user and you use Square for booking your appointments, Liquid actually can, once you connected, Liquid
Hi, I'm Crystal Graves,
she talks
founder of Liquid.
every time. Liquid can actually tell you a snapshot of your week, your day at any moment. So if your appointments are all in there, Liquid will say you have 4 appointments booked over the next 7 days. That's totaling $1,170. But to hit that dream number of $25,000 a month, you still need $4,604. And you're like, okay, that's cool, but what do I do with that number? You can click here to grow your revenue. You're then going to see every appointment on your books. And you can do this manual. So say you don't have Square, you can also enter all of your appointments for the week manually if you want to do that as well. And then the bonus benefit is that now for every client that's here, you can actually use our prep assistant feature to make more money off the clients that are already in your chair. It takes you it takes $50 more to acquire a new client than it does to add value to the client who is sitting in your chair and make more money off of that ticket. So I'll give you an example. This Ashley Fox, you can send a intake form to Ashley before her appointment. And it's going to you can do a personal message here to say, hey, this one says, hey, we're super excited to create a unique experience for you. Fill out this form. We'll prepare for your appointment. Right here are questions that Liquid has already generated. What you can do is you can use all these questions or you can remove them. You can edit them. You can make your own questions. Say they're coming in for a flat twist. You might ask like, do they have any scalp issues? Do they want you to pick out the flat twist? You can ask 999 questions, but the whole point is to be prepared for the appointment when they come in so that your consultation is easier and you can actually make suggestions to increase the service ticket that don't feel salesy. So I'll show y'all how that works. We'll do a few of them. How do you describe your hair's condition? We will do you have any allergies and what's your scalp health? Another really good one, people use this for their cancellation policies. You can put your cancellation policy right here, and then they agree to it. So if you're taking deposits, you have a rebooking fee, and somebody was like, well, I didn't even read that. Because, people's cancellation policies are often like, when you click to accept the appointment, you've accepted the cancellation policy. Girl, I didn't read that. I didn't even see that. But with this, I'm going to show you how it works. You can really pull it up. You'll have their IP, you'll have their yes individually. So if you are charging deposits, this is a great way to use this to, if they try to reverse your deposit charge, you can show the bank, no, they agreed. This is the timestamp. This is when I sent it. You kind of have some proof. That's neither here nor there, but I think it's a good one. So then you can send the form to the client. And I'm going to show y'all real quick what that looks like with the client. So the client will get an email from you. Oh, actually, that's an email from my Square. That's funny. So the same time you're sending that, you're getting that Square is also, because it's connected to Square, it's also sending their appointment reminder. So it'll say your upcoming appointment with, this will have your name. It just says our name because this is our test. It'll have their person's name, that message that you put, you can change that. It'll have their appointment, then the kind, the time, and it says, by completing this form, you understand your goal. We understand your goals and preferences, better prepare personalized recommendations, optimize your consultation time together, ensure you get the best possible results, and create a truly customized experience for you. It takes 3 to 5 minutes. They click this right here. And then this will come up again. It'll have your salon's name. If it's mobile, they can actually use a microphone to talk to it. Those questions are now here. So how would you describe your hair's condition, Elaine?
Healthy.
Okay. Got it. Do you have any allergies or sensitivities to hair products? And if so, what are they?
No allergies.
Okay. Do you have any concerns about your scalp or your scalp health?
I don't want it to be dry.
Okay. And then it says, thank you for your responses. We successfully submitted them and we look forward to seeing you at your appointment. Then you will go back to liquid and you will see this big orange thing that immediately that you now have where Ashley Fox has filled out her review form. You can look at it. You then see the questions that you asked. But what I love is then you get AI recommendations. So now the AI is looking at Ashley's responses, but then it's telling you how you can better serve Ashley. So the first thing is going to give you ways to increase your service ticket, right? So you $4,000 down, you got a little ways to go. And it's not about selling, it's about solving a problem. So the best way for retail, we did about $80,000 in retail a year in our salon. And it was the easiest thing because you're solving a problem that they've already told you that they had. So deep hydration infusion to proactively address the concerns around the dryness to ensure your scalp remains moisturized throughout your silk press with infusion that will lasting hydration. She's getting a silk press done. This is what you would say to the client. So you don't even got to think of it. So, hey, I think we should do a deep hydration today. This is what it's going to do for your hair. You should be charging between $30 and $50 based on your rate, depending on how long it's going to take you. And you're already washing her hair. You might do a scalp soothing treatment to calm the scalp. You tell them why. You might do an extended silk press finish, an upgrade to your silk press that includes additional time for meticulous finish, flawless, long-lasting style. So you might add some curls, right? We used to do styling lessons that were 15 minutes after the appointment that were additional $25, and we would show them how to pin curl. We would show them how to wrap their hair. We would show them how to curl with the flat iron. we would show them a lot of things that they could do at home that could continue that silk press to last longer. The next thing are consultation talking points. These are the things you would say to them. You mentioned wanting to avoid dryness. Can we discuss your techniques and products that you use during your silk press to ensure, oh, you discussed them, to ensure the optimal tension of your scalp? Given your healthy condition, we can focus on maintaining that, incorporating hydrating elements to your service. So these are talking points that you would do in the consultation. When you finish, you'll be like, okay, we talked about that, we talked about that. It's gonna keep that. And the last thing is product recommendations. I tell every single hairstylist, I don't care what service you do, every single person uses a product, right? So you should have it. If people wash their hair at home, every single person uses a shampoo and conditioner. Most people use a leave-in. Everybody might want a little shine spray. People might want a little scalp soother. But people want a little moisturizer. In between, they should be going home with something. Not every time they come, but they should have a product that they get from you. What I love about these product recommendations is they're all generic. I don't care what you carry, but I bet there's a hydrating scalp serum somewhere that you can sell them. There is a moisturizing leave-in. There is a gentle scalp cleanser. So this is telling you these are 3 simple things that you can recommend that they take home and what you should be charging for them. And that's it. So it's giving you your numbers. It's helping you answer whatever questions. And then it's also helping you increase your numbers, your data for your average service ticket, so you don't have to raise your price. And doing these things for your client is going to create a better retention. They're going to be like, I'm not even going to exaggerate. I had so many clients who would leave. They were there for college or would move, and they would call me and be like, "Oh my God, Crystal, can you call my hairstylist and help her? Like, she don't ask me no questions. When I come in, she doesn't suggest anything." And they're in bigger cities. She's charging way more than you, and I'm not even getting half of what I got. If your client shows up and they feel like you are so prepared for them and you know about them, not only are they going to keep coming back, they're going to trust you more, they're going to tip you more, and they're going to tell a friend. And that is how we build customer loyalty, especially in a world where people are like, how do I stand out? I promise you, customer service, great experience where the perceived value matches the experience that they're giving. Those numbers, those are going to translate into dollar numbers and data, and you're going to see it in how often your clients come back and the referrals that they give you. So that was a lot of information, y'all. So the last things we talked about was we're at Q&A. And what's super cool about all of the things that we talked about is that Liquid is 100% free. So you have 0 excuses to go in and put your numbers in, to ask questions. And right now, Prep Assistant is not currently free. But I'll say in about 2 weeks, it will also be free. And there'll be limited usage that you get for that free tier. But I really just want us to take action and not have excuses, because if somebody is providing you with the tool that I feel like it's useful, I don't know. And it's free, and I think very easy to use. And if you struggle with it, I actually offer one-on-one calls that are free to help you use it. So I think that I've done all that I can do so that we actually take actions. But thank you all so much for the opportunity to talk to you about the numbers and the data, but more importantly, to show you a technology tool that not only helps you do it, but I think also helps you understand the why behind every piece of the data that you're using. So whether you use Liquid or not, you have a better understanding of the foundational parts of your business.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know it's 2 o'clock, but I do want to allow anyone who has any questions. If you have a question, you can drop it in chat, or you can raise your hand and ask it live. I see a question right here, Miss Haven. Go ahead. What's your question? You can go ahead and unmute yourself. All right, you're unmuted. Jeanette, I'm glad you found that very helpful. Margaret, I see you're unmuted. Are you having trouble with your audio? Looks like Margaret's having trouble with her audio. You can drop your question in chat if you're unable to get your audio going, because you are definitely unmuted. But we're not able to hear you. I see your hand up. You just muted. You just unmuted. Still can't hear you though.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Welcome.
Oh, okay. Nice information. I like you about the data. I'm not a cosmetologist per se. I'm just curious though. Your information that you keep on the data, can your program tell you who really needs to come in the shop? In other words, forecast that this person haven't been in here in 4 months, 8 months, and need to come in, and that would help you kind of project you with your revenue. I'm just curious.
Not yet. So it will. So what eventually that is on our roadmap. And what's super cool about it is we're going to do you one better. So the goal with Liquid is not to tell you more things to do, because we got a million things to do. Is how many things can you do for me? So what will actually happen on the back end, I would probably say it won't happen until September, is that you will be able to say for every service that you have, a person should come in, a haircut is every 8 to 10 weeks, a flat iron is every whatever. And then Liquid will, once that person hits the threshold after their last appointment, so when they hit that 8-week mark, Liquid, which is just going to text them and reach out to them via email and say, hey, Elaine, you are actually 2 weeks overdue for your appointment with Crystal. Here's a link to go ahead and book an appointment.
Okay. I'm scared. That's good.
Now, Margaret, are you in the beauty space at all?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what's
super,
what do you do?
Scientist. I do manufacturing and making products.
Okay, perfect. I was gonna say this works for any service-based business, which is why we edit it. So if you were to ask a question to the assistant and you were an esthetician or a barber, it would answer for estheticians and barbers. And that is also why the form didn't used to be edited. It was 100% geared toward hairstylists, but we edited the form so that anyone can use it. So and that came from like BBI, honestly, because I wanted to make sure this tool would be useful for everyone. So you can now edit and be a barber, or lash person, a nail person, and use all of the same tools.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Great question. I see Jeanette really enjoyed it. We got the thumbs up. We got the good service. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I see your information here in chat. We will also share that in our post-webinar blog as well, so that people can sign up for Liquid and book a one-on-one with you.
Awesome.
So thank you. Thank you very much. And guys, if you don't have any other questions, with it being 2:06, I guess I will release you. And again, Crystal, thank you so much. And we will definitely have you on again.
Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed it. And I look forward to being back.